from the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Well. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2022. We are live right here on your favorite podcast listening platforms and also on your favorite social media networks. So good morning to everyone tuning in. I know we have a little challenge with our LinkedIn feed at the moment. We are doing our best to get that resolved. We've got a packed show today, so we won't waste a lot of time with pleasantries and get right into today's show. But before we do that, a big shout out to KnowBe4 for their support of our program today. Also, a shout out to everyone tuning in. Go check out our new website, cyberhubpodcast.com. You can find the latest. On Friday, I had two very, very special episodes that we posted. One with Javad Malik talking about digital identity and passwordless in the future there, and another one talking about electronic and cyber warfare with retired Navy Captain Jim Derenkemp. We went into a lot of different really cool things, just some of it cyber, some of it electronics, some of it geopolitics. A really, really fun and enlightening conversation. You guys can check that out as well. So without further ado, my traditional double espresso. I hope whatever you're drinking this morning is yours and you enjoy it. Coffee cup cheers. Let's get right into what's going on today with Adobe releasing a emergency patch for the exploited commerce 0-day. So a out-of-band emergency advisory issued yesterday to inform Commerce and Magento users of a critical 0-day vulnerability that has been exploited in attacks. The flaw, which is tracked to CVE 2022-24086, assigned the CVSS score of 9.8, has been described as an improper input validation issue that can lead to arbitrary code execution. According to Adobe, the vulnerability can be exploited without authentication. The security hole affects the Magento open source and Adobe Commerce e-commerce platforms, specifically versions 2.4.3 P1 and 2.3.7 P2 and earlier. Adobe has developed those patches and they need to get done. So make sure you're updating your Adobe today. In other news, thousands of NPM accounts are using email addresses with expired domain. According to an academic research project, found that thousands of JavaScript developers are using an email address with an expired domain for their NPM accounts, leaving their projects exposed to easy hijacks. The study, which was performed last year from Microsoft and North Carolina State University, analyzed the metadata of 1,630,101 libraries uploaded on the Node Package Manager, the de facto repository for Java libraries and the largest package repository on the internet. Researchers said they found that 2,818 projects maintainers were still using an email address for their account that had an expired domain, some of which they found on sale on sites just like GoDaddy. The team argued that attackers could buy these domains, re-registered the email address, and then reset the maintainer's account password and take over his NPM package. An attack like this would work because the NPM portal doesn't enforce MFA for account owners, meaning that once you've taken over the email account, you've essentially taken over the project. And from there, the attack cycle goes much, much easier and much, much quicker. They can go in, they can put in a backdoor, they can do so many different things there as well. So something to keep in mind with NPM packages and doing due diligence on your software supply chain, which is a critical piece of what we do as practitioners. Apple issued a huge notice of a 0-day vulnerability, folks, that is being exploited to hack iPhones, iPads, and Macs. So the fix, which came out over the weekend, said that it's tracked to CVE 2022-22620, and it's a WebKit used after free issue that could lead to OS crashes and code execution on compromised devices. Successful exploitation of this bug allows attackers to execute arbitrary code on iPhones and iPads, running vulnerable versions of the iOS and iPad OS after processing maliciously crafted web content. Apple is aware of that. They've issued patches with improved memory to iOS 15.3.1, iPad 15.3.1, and Mac OS Monterey 12.2.1. All of these need to get updated quickly. This is the third 0-day patch by Apple this year. India-linked threat actor involved in a spying and planting evidence for roughly a decade. A previously unknown advanced persistent actor has been engaging in long-term surveillance operations against academic, activist journalists, human rights defenders, and law professionals. This has been dubbed as a modified elephant and is still active. The group is also believed to have planted evidence that was later used to justify arrests. The APT was observed launching phishing attacks, mainly against targets in India, and attempting to infect victims through emails carrying macro-enabled office documents. Some of the malicious documents employed in the attacks made use of exploits for vulnerabilities such as CVE 2012-0158, 2014-1761, 3906 from 2013, and 1641 from 2015 for the download and execution of malicious codes. The attacks were mainly carried out using free email service providers, including Gmail and Yahoo, and the messages employed various social engineering tactics to appear legitimate, including fake body content with a forwarding history containing long list of recipients. So something to keep in mind there, and something to look at as how they are planting evidence, and that the chain of custody may not always be the same. Finally, in lieu of the Super Bowl, the NFC runner-up, really, San Francisco 49ers, have fallen victim to a ransomware attack that encrypted files on the corporate IT network, according to a spokesperson for the team. The team confirmed the attack after operators of the Black Byte ransomware listed the team as one of their victims on the dark web. The group typically uses to shame victims and force them into paying for their extortion attempts. Upon learning of the incidents, the San Francisco 49ers launched steps to contain the incident. An investigation is ongoing, and it's limited to the corporate IT network. To date, there's no indication that this incident involved systems outside of our corporate network, such as those connected to Levi Stadium's operations or ticket holders at this time. They're working diligently to restore everything. The 49ers lost in the NFC Championship game to the Super Bowl champions, LA Rams, and over the weekend watched that happen. So good luck to the 49ers in recovering from this ransomware attack as well. I'm sure there's a lot more going on there. So keeping that in mind, folks. So that's it for our show today. We'll be back with a lot more tomorrow. I know I'm not sure if this feed was back on LinkedIn, but we will re-air this on LinkedIn shortly. So if you missed it and you missed the live, you'll be able to catch it again. We see that everything's operating. We're not seeing the feed on LinkedIn for some reason. So till tomorrow, we'll be back again with a lot more. Have a great rest of your day and stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.